It's new at 4 in Benton County. A Springdale man accused of stealing more than $100,000 for contract work from last year's Memorial Day tornadoes. Victims are coming forward now saying he stole money for jobs that were never completed. Austin Lamb was arrested but has since been released from the Benton County Jail. He's facing charges of 3 counts of theft of property by deception. An elderly couple in Rogers tells 5 News they gave Lamb $32,000 to make repairs, but they say he only removed a tree that had fallen on their roof. Chief Deputy Prosecutor for Benton County, Josh Robinson, says they're looking at a few ways to help reimburse these alleged victims.
We're going to be exploring all of those things. Sometimes it's as simple as a court orders the defendant to pay back. Sometimes it has to come through monthly payments over a period of time. We have to look and see if there's any insurance involved that can make people whole and things like that.
Lamb's arraignment, by the way, set for April 28th. Next at 5, we're going to hear from the alleged victims on how they're repairing their homes after months of no maintenance. A massive earthquake in Southeast Asia last week has now killed more than 2,000 people. Most of the dead are in Myanmar, near the epicenter of the quake. Military government there asking for help. Damaged roads, bridges, and downed power lines have made it very difficult for rescue teams to reach communities in need of help. So far, China, Russia, and India have responded with humanitarian aid, as has teams on the ground. President Trump says the U.S. will be helping, but the U.S. government's cuts to U.S. aid and State Department programs could be felt by Myanmar's earthquake victims. Meanwhile, the president has declared April 2nd Liberation Day. That's the day he's going to put on new tariffs on countries around the world that tax American-made goods. As Nicole Skenga reports, the president says the move is needed to help American companies, but consumers are worried they'll be the ones paying the price.
President Trump is preparing to announce a new round of tariffs on imports, pushing back against countries with their own tariffs on American-made products.
You'd start with all countries, so let's see what happens.
The president is set to announce the reciprocal tariffs during a Rose Garden event on Wednesday. And that's just one part of new trade policies taking effect this week. Thursday, the U.S. begins a 25% tax on all imported vehicles and auto parts.
The people that are going to make money are people that manufacture cars in the United States. Outside of the United States, that's going to be up to them. I don't care too much about that.
Trump administration officials say the new tariffs will bring in more than $6 trillion over the next decade.
It's time for reciprocity, and it's time for a president to take historic change to do what's right for the American people, and that's going to take place on Wednesday.
The president insists companies, not consumers, will be hit with the import tax hike. But in a new CBS News poll, 72% of those surveyed say the tariffs will result in higher prices in the short term. Nearly half say that will be true in the long term as well.
We've had people make very quick decisions to buy a car because they're concerned about the tariffs.
The Trump administration says the taxes are needed to bring manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. Nicole Skenga, CBS News, the White House.
President said over the weekend he could not care less if the auto tariffs raise prices because higher prices on imports would encourage people to buy American-made cars instead. Even American-made cars utilize parts made outside of the country, meanwhile, and those parts will be subject to those new tariffs as well. Well, today a jury selection got underway in Arizona for a new trial involving Lori Vallow Daybell, the woman accused of killing her 2 children in Idaho. She's accused of plotting to kill her 4th husband, Charles Vallow, in 2019. Vallow Daybell's brother told police he shot Charles Vallow in self-defense after an altercation at Lori Vallow Daybell's Arizona home. In this trial, Vallow Daybell is representing herself.
She is charged as a conspirator. The prosecution is trying to prove that Lori Vallow and her brother conspired together to kill her 4th of 5 husbands.
Vallow Daybell serving life without parole for the murders of her children after they went missing in 2019. The bodies of JJ and Tylee were eventually found on the Idaho property of her 5th husband, Chad Daybell. He was sentenced to death for his role in the killings, though his attorney has filed an appeal over that sentence. Wildfires have broken out across the Carolinas, forcing hundreds to evacuate as flames spread through the Blue Ridge Mountains. Both North and South Carolina have declared states of emergency as crews work now to contain multiple fires across the region. Debris left behind from last year's Hurricane Helene has only made the region more vulnerable. Millions of fallen trees from the storm are fueling the fires and blocking access for firefighters. Researchers are now warning that the South, not traditionally seen as wildfire country, is becoming an area of growing concern. A new bill making its way through the Arkansas legislature could make online casino gambling legal in the state, but only through the 3 licensed casinos. 5 News reporter Morgan Wrigley breaks down what's in this bill and what happens next.
Sports betting has been legal in Arkansas since 2018, and a rule change in 2022 let the state's 3 casinos expand to mobile sports betting. But online casino gaming like blackjack, roulette, or slots, those aren't allowed right now. Well, House Bill 1861, which goes before a committee Tuesday, could change that. This bill would make online casino gaming legal through the state's 3 licensed casinos, while also cracking down on illegal gambling sites. It also includes a provision to allow casinos to hold digital drawings to benefit NIL collectives for college athletes. Supporters of the bill say these unlicensed sites aren't regulated, they don't pay taxes, and they say this bill would help protect consumers and keep gaming revenue in Arkansas. But not everyone's on board. Some in the casino industry argue it's bad policy and that it could have negative impacts on social well-being, the economy, and existing gambling regulations. Now, if passed, this bill would make Arkansas one of a handful of states to legalize online casino gaming. It's scheduled to be discussed in the House Judiciary Committee Tuesday morning. We'll let you know what happens. Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.